I first got into podcasting, well, the concept of it, when I was on the path of self-discovery and reconstructing myself after a really dark period of my life. It wasn't, it wasn't, I'll just leave it at that. It wasn't terrible, but at the same time, it was a personal low. After I had graduated university and was going through some stuff. And after discovering some other podcasters, mainly Joe Rogan, and other thinkers, I began to branch out and explore other podcasts and consume that content. And that introduced me to other thinkers that I enjoyed listening to, help me discover myself and explore different ideas, such as Jordan Peterson, Gad Saad, Brett Weinstein, a lot of the guys from the quote unquote intellectual dark web. And I realized that I had been having conversations like these for years with my friends and people around me, or conversations of that caliber, obviously with less qualifications, because at that point, none of us were neither as accomplished as these men. We didn't have PhDs, we weren't professors, we weren't clinical psychologists, we were evolutionary biologists like Gad Saad, evolutionary psychologists in his case. But at the same time, we were concerned about the same concepts, the inner workings of why people did the things that they did, why we felt the way that we did, and the future, which was just still uncertain. And so there was a few revelations that I had after that. It was that there's a market for long form discussions where there was an intellectual exchange of ideas. And then also, this was brought about kind of from my contempt from just being around other people that were just really interested in surface level interactions, that were just content with going out to party every weekend. Like I had my fair share of that at college. But at the same time, I enjoyed having conversations of consequence and building meaningful relationships with other people. And so I wanted to create a platform that serves two purposes, which was primarily, this is our tagline, our goal is to make you think, and then to serve as a promotional tool and networking opportunity for individuals, kind of like we are today. And I feel largely we've been very successful at that. I really don't care, back to the first point of to make people think. I don't care if people agree with me or not. The fact is that I'm more concerned with whether or not they're able to draw value or be able to realize something that they hadn't already before, or even strengthen their argument because, okay, they understand the opposition and they still feel the way that they do. And then I really find a lot of value, and I hope that you guys do too, by exposing different people's followings to other people's followings, cross-pollination, and seeing the subsequent works that come from it. Like it's really cool when we have two guests on and then we find out that they've linked up and worked on something else in the future. Like that's really dope. And I think that's really what we're getting at, is just the idea that we can come together and build something greater together than we could as our individual parts. And that's kind of where the infusion comes from, because not only when we first started, I've said this plenty of times, but I'll say it again. But when we started, we were drinking tea when we recorded, and we used a tea infuser. But also, the three of us, we came together to build something greater than each of our individual parts. So that's, I guess, another wordplay on the infusion. So that's where the Infusion Breakdown show actually came from.